Learfield Sports.
Now it's time for the Justin Fuente Show, presented by AutoZone. The show is supported by the Tennessee Lottery, Jack Fertle's Chicken, and by the Mid-South Chevy Dealers.
Welcome in, everybody. A tremendous way to end the year. One of the most astonishing first halves I've ever seen in college football. But one of the saddest things about college football is you make friends, you meet people, you get to really feel comfortable, get to know them, their families, and then ultimately they leave. This happens in all walks of life, but it seems to, in the world of sports, happen more often than most places. And I know we're all going to be sad as you fly off to Blacksburg, Virginia. But congratulations, I guess we should say, I hate to say it, on that particular job. But what a four-year period for you.
Oh, it's been a fantastic 4 years for my family and myself. I feel like I've grown a lot as a head coach, from the first day we stepped on campus, and tried to work and instill the values that we really believe in our kids on a daily basis. I'm so tickled to death for our kids, too. You don't have success without a group of kids that believes in what you're doing and works incredibly hard and ultimately puts victories out there on the field. So it's been a wonderful 4 years, a wonderful experience, something I'll treasure forever and never forget.
It was senior day yesterday. They're always emotional. But how was that? And obviously you had to know what was coming down because ESPN ran this crawl about you already going to Virginia Tech. Knowing that was your last game, that had to have a lot of inner turmoil for you, and you're trying to win that game because it was really important to this program.
Well, nothing's ever... The way I felt about it is things were not final going into that game. We didn't know exactly where things stood. There wasn't a decision to be made heading into the ball game. So those feelings really weren't there. I didn't know it was going to be the last one. I really, in all honesty, those reports were premature. But I had a tremendous sense of pride in the kids and wanting to make sure we won the ball game. We talked all week about making sure we did right by our seniors, the 14 seniors we were going to recognize before the game, make sure that we performed in a manner that was worthy of them and the things that they'd been through in order to help build this program. And I do believe our kids took that message to heart by the way they played. They certainly put on a good show.
And that's exactly what is coming up. You'll see first half highlights plus one big play in the second half. And then you got to look at the Mid-South Chevy drive of the game. That'll come pretty quick into this contest. The AutoZone road ahead is a bowl. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. But coming up, one of the great first halves in the history of the University of Memphis, one of the great in college football. That's next. There was a great football game played at the Liberty Bowl yesterday, that's for sure. Lost amongst the emotions of you and all the seniors was just a phenomenal performance, both offensively and defensively. And Coach, there's an embrace with Alan Cross, who didn't get to play in the first half, but what a great career he's had. And right off the bat, Paxton Lynch is going to go to work. And this is an amazing, maybe the best performance of any of your teams.
Yeah, it was pretty efficient. I mean, in all three phases of the game, defensively, we got them shut down pretty quickly and created turnovers. Offensively, we were incredibly efficient and got touchdowns and then made some big plays in the special teams area. I don't know if I've ever been a part of a game, quite like this. SMU was averaging a tremendous amount of points a game. They scored 40.
Over 30.
Yeah, they scored 40 on Temple. This was... they had not been as good as they wanted to be on defense, but offensively, they were an explosive team, and our defense really played well. I think it really speaks highly to the improvement that we've tried to make week in and week out on defense. Something we talked about from the very beginning was, can we continue to get better? And we certainly did that. And I really think we've kind of instituted this little screen pass this year, and it's been really effective for us. We've gotten some really good plays. Dorland's got a good feel for it. Sam's been pretty good.
Sam Cross had a touchdown on that, I know. And this is the Mid-South Chevy drive of the game, and it really and truly, Kevin Barbie could have picked any one of these. They were so terrific. And there is a block by Ricky Hunter, the senior, so he gets in the newspaper for that one. Everybody played so doggone good. This is the most amazing thing that I think I can ever see. There's Frank Wims, his first touchdown as a Tiger. 9 completions, 7 touchdowns to 7 different receivers, all in the first half. And how about Leonard Pegues? There's another one of your seniors making that little pirouette. Woo, another TD.
Yeah, things are rolling pretty well right now. We're scoring on defense. Ricky Hunter did a great job blocking the punt. We're actually in punt safe. We just got our defense on the field, but the kids did a good job rushing the punter. It was good to see Frank Wims get in the end zone. He's really worked hard and deserves some playing time. We had a couple guys a little banged up and knew he was going to get to play, and he was excited. And when his opportunity came, he made the most of it. And we're all going to miss this guy.
Wow.
I'm telling you, not just because he's a good player, but his leadership and competitiveness is just fantastic. And we do a good job here with the play-action pass. We've talked the last couple weeks about trying to run the football and get our play-action pass game going. We did there, and able to find Daniel Montiel for a touchdown. And Coach Scott's dialing up the blitzes. There's a little bit of blood in the water right now. You can really feel offensively and defensively we're getting after them. And Anthony Miller takes a 3rd down and 4 on the double slant versus press coverage and scores, and they've worked on this little celebration, I think. But really good job, and again, their defense is swarming to the ball. We're making plays on special teams and on offense, and continuing to get the ball into the end zone. And there's Frankie again with good perimeter blocking. We just wanted to get him into the end zone. Then the Memphis product, Daniel Hurd catches a touchdown pass there in the corner to give us a pretty comfortable lead there in the second quarter.
49-0. Wait, let's see it again. There's Daniel Hurd, and he has his first touchdown as a Tiger. Back to work defense, and the ball just slips out. Look what I found.
Yeah.
And away you go.
Again, I think the elements really affected SMU on offense. It was a little bit cold and it was clearly rainy, obviously. And again, Mose Frazier breaks a tackle here and takes it into the end zone, and makes you want to go to Vegas because everything's going your way right now. You know, you just everything you dial up works. And
this is second half, and this will do it.
Yeah.
There's Jackson Dillon, one of our favorites, 63-0. And then you really took the foot off the gas pedal as Chad Morris, and I know you have a lot of respect for him, and you've been in that spot, right?
Well, that's what I told him. I said, I understand where you're coming from. You know, you're trying to build a football program, and things are tough right now, but keep doing the right thing, and everything's going to work out.
So look at the passing yards from Paxton Lynch. Clay Holgerson came in and did a pretty good deal there. 7 touchdowns, 7 different guys. Amazing. Miller, 60 reception yards and a touchdown. And Anthony, I just love that young man. Then there's Mose Frazier. Man, we're going to miss him in a lot of respects, and he got a touchdown, 56 receiving yards. Team play all the way around, and Galen Scott gets his shutout.
Yeah, I was really proud for the defense. Again, we just talked about continuing to improve week in and week out, and the kids have stayed with it and played better defense, and they got a shutout versus a pretty explosive offense. And then we made big plays on special teams and sent the seniors out the right way.
They did. You did. They all did. It was terrific. Now, this is our last show. Let's take a little bit of a look back at the year full of great wins, 9 of them. We give you the review in just a minute.
The Fuente Show.
We thought it might be a little bit of fun since this is our farewell. Take a little bit of a look back at the way the whole year unfolded. And it started with Missouri State. And my goodness, Coach Phil Mayhew right off the bat showed us what kind of fun year we were going to have. And there's our guy, Mose Frazier. So you look back, and let's just talk. Let's start with your quarterback, to Paxton Lynch, who, let's be honest, I'm talking to folks now, and they're saying he could be the #1 pick taken in the NFL draft. Talk about his development and how great he became, as you see Mr. Proctor there return a punt for a touchdown.
Well, he really helped us early in the year because he played at such a high level. You know, we knew coming into the season we were going to be young on defense, playing a bunch of new kids that are adapting to playing Division I football. And he, along with the other guys, they played well too, guys like Mose Frazier and guys like Sam Kraft and Dorland Dorcius. But Paxton really helped us early in the year overcome some of our newness defensively by playing at an incredibly high level. I do think he's got a bright future, whatever he decides to do. I do know that he'll go through the process the correct way and sit down and make a decision. I told him the other day, the beautiful thing is you get to make a decision. That's the beautiful thing. You want to make sure in your life you put yourself in situations that you get to make decisions, and that's probably what he's done. But this was a huge game. I mean, this was a tough, hard-nosed game. This is the play that got all the attention.
Flipper.
13 bozo flipper for a long touchdown pass to Tevin Jones that really switched the momentum. They didn't get another first down after this. Defense came out and shut them down after that, and we scored enough to win the ball game. And then who can forget the Cincinnati on a Thursday night?
Arthur Mollett.
Arthur with the interception return for a touchdown. This game just kind of got crazy there in the second half, but Anthony Miller, on a kind of his coming out party, if you will, in that game, he had a big night. And we found a way to win this ball game, and I thought it was a special victory because Cincinnati had some pretty darn good football players out there.
You ended up having Tommy Tuberville's number for the most part. And, there were times your defense was terrific. This is going to seal it. A bad decision, and there's Leonard Pegues. We saw him get the fumble recovery. There's his one pick this year. It was big for the senior.
And how good does this victory look now? When you look at South Florida and how well they're playing, what they did to Cincinnati, what they did to Temple. And we talked about this, Dave, after this game, about how much improved I thought South Florida was and how much better they were getting on both sides of the ball and how fast they were. They could really run, and Willie Taggart's done a great job recruiting there. And to get that victory, I think, was huge. And then, the game that most Memphis fans, I think, will identify with in this season probably is the Ole Miss game at home. Unbelievable crowd. We got down early because we were out of our mind excited to go play the Rebels. And then when we calmed down, we kind of took control of the ball game and won it handily.
That may be, or the Miami Beach Bowl, but maybe that one, the defining moment probably of the Justin Fuente era, because it's no surprise now. You're a pretty good football team. They knew it, and you made a statement against a team that was ranked.
Yeah, I think both those teams going into that game knew it was going to be a good game. I don't think there were any surprises. And really proud of the way our kids bounced back in the Tulsa game. That was the game that worried me the most. We beat Ole Miss, and then had to turn around on a short week and go play at Tulsa. Found a way to get that done, and then came back and played Tulane here at home. And you see Anthony Miller again. Many of these guys you're seeing make these big plays are coming back.
All the running backs are coming back.
Every running back. We lose a couple of wide receivers. We're going to lose Alan Cross, obviously, at tight end, but we've got a bunch of kids coming back to try and win some more ball games.
This, again, was a big play by Pegues. If there's a guy, a symbol of your era, would it be Alan Cross, a long snapper you made, a tight end who was a walk-on, your walk-on program, the whole thing? Could that be your poster guy?
Well, I would certainly want to identify with him, I can tell you that much. I mean, I certainly would hold him up as a fantastic example of what somebody that wants to work hard, has a little bit of talent, and won't take no for an answer, so to speak, wants to be a good football player can do. And that's what he did. And for the last 4 years, I don't know if there's anybody over a 4-year span that's helped our program as much as he has.
I know we're going to go a little long here, but I do have to ask you this. If you were to be asked what you want to be remembered by here, what would it be?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really thought too much about that. We tried to build a program the right way and teach our kids things that last them the next 40 years of their life, not the next 4. And hopefully we did that, and we probably did it with some and didn't do it with others. But, the wins and losses, those are nice, but we tried to establish a culture. At the very least, I hope people think and recognize that we did change the culture here.
I think there's no question about that. When we come back, 2 of those guys, Alan Cross with the embrace, Wynton McManus on the other side. He might be the other poster child for your era. We talk with them in just a minute.
The Justin Fuente Show.
Can't be a winning football team without leaders, and Memphis has two of the best. And Alan Cross, we talked about him. And then on the defensive side, there's Wynton McManus.
It's going to mean a lot to see, how far we've come as a team and how far I've come as a person, and just to be able to go through these 4 years and play football for my hometown. It means so much, and I appreciate everything, Coach Fuente and everybody has done for me.
We've tried to, just do the right things, do what Coach Fuente always tells us to do, and I remember when he first got here, I was here a year before him, and he's been playing ever since he was a freshman. He had to play on the punt team when he was a freshman, and just doing things like that, just helping the team win. That's kind of the legacy that we want to leave. Just doing the little things and working hard and just taking care of business.
They send a man in motion to the right side. They fake it to Coop. Here's Lynch running, throwing, end zone, caught it. Inside the line for a touchdown.
This felt great. The other night I went to the basketball game when they played Grambling State. Me and Chris Roberson, the left guard, and we sitting up there, eating some popcorn, having random people just come up to me and him saying that they're really proud of us, and it's just a great feeling. Have it put a smile on my face, put a smile on his face, and we just look at each other like we actually have done something great in this program, and people are noticing it. It's just a sight to see.
Looking back on it, just me and my last game, I've thought about how much we've done and everything that we've accomplished this year in the past 2 years. Well, really the past 4 years, everything we've accomplished. So I've started looking back on it now, and it's just amazing.
We are going to miss those two guys, that's for sure. And, Coach, if there's a common denominator, they both come from wonderful families.
Oh, great families. Wynton was one of my first visits when I took the job, and immediately was drawn to him and his family. And when he showed up on campus, we put him on the field. He didn't have any time to not play or grow up. We had to put him on right away.
When we come back, it's going to be the AutoZone road ahead. Where are we going bowling? We'll try to figure that one out. Road ahead, pretty simple. It's a bowl game. Most people think Memphis will be in Birmingham against an SEC team on December the 30th. We'll know for sure in about a week or so. Coach, I speak for a lot of folks. I know we're going to miss you. You've done an amazing job.
Well, I appreciate it. I've enjoyed every moment of it. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was. We had a lot of work to do when we got here. We hired a great group of people to come in and get this thing pointed in the right direction. We had a great group of kids. We just didn't have enough of them when we started. I often think back about the seniors we had when we started, the Cannon Smiths, Akeem Davises, Jordan Debbys, that we just didn't have enough of those guys. And once we got more of those guys, or got that circle a little bit bigger, then it took off. And it's been a joy. I really am appreciative. I have a deep appreciation for this city and for this opportunity to be the head football coach at Memphis.
Well, we only wish you the best of luck now, that is for certain. What an amazing job. Like life goes on, he's going away. Next week, the Josh Pastner Show will debut. We'll see you then.